Kung Hei Fat Choy, Happy New Year to my Chinese subscribers and a Happy Chinese New Year to the rest of my subscribers there. It's a fascinating time of year. It's 2013, the year of the snake, and I thought I'd try and make something that's indicative of a Chinese banquet. Peking duck. It's a wonderfully crispy, aromatic duck, very easy to make, and I'm going to show you now how to prepare and make Peking duck. Now I put a little notice up to warn people that if they're squeamish about meat and things, they shouldn't be here, so I'm presuming you're comfortable and you're watching this. So now with the duck, when you're preparing, we want to take the clip the wings off just at this joint here. You don't want that on there when you're roasting the duck. And I'm keeping the head on because that is the traditional way of having Peking duck, head on. Okay, so I've clipped the wings off and the duck has been thoroughly washed. The cavity inside and the outside's been washed, and we just want to pat it dry and get it ready to scald it in the water. Now to add a nice sweet tanginess to the water I'm scalding the duck in, I've got 3 tablespoons of rice wine here. Now this is a cooking wine. You could use a sherry or any wine that you like. I've also got 3 tablespoons of honey, and I've got 2 tablespoons of a rice wine vinegar, or any wine vinegar will be fine. Here in this pot I've got 4 tablespoons of corn starch or corn flour. I'm just going to add half a cup of water into that and mix it to a slurry. I have a wok here with 2 litres of water, that's about 8 cups, and I'm just bringing that water up to the boil. Now I've calculated my duck virtually submerges in the wok. If you've got a different pan, by all means recalculate how much water you need to submerge the duck. Now whilst that comes up to the boil, I'm just going to add my vinegar, my wine, and that honey into there, and then just mix those into the water, let them dissolve. Now as the water comes up to a nice scalding temperature, we're just going to add the corn flour and water solution into the mix. Now that'll allow the mixture to thicken up and allow this sweet tangy sauce to stick to the surface of the duck after we've scalded it. Our liquid is up to a nice rolling boil now, and I'm going to take the duck and I'm gently going to drop that into the water. Try not to catch your fingers in the hot water. Now that'll bring the temperature of the liquid down, so we just want to let that come back up to a boil and scald this duck for 2 to 3 minutes. And if the surface of the skin is out of the water, as mine is here, just baste over the hot water to completely scald the skin. Okay, the duck's been in there now for 3 minutes, and I'm happy. We're not trying to cook this duck, remember, we're just scalding the surface. Okay, we need to lift the duck out of the water now and put it on to a flat tray. Now once our duck is out of the water, we want to pop it onto a drying rack. There are 2 options here. Either you take it and move it onto a nice flat drying rack like this. Now this is still pretty hot, but I'll just show you. We can either take it and put it onto a rack like this, and then lay the rack over the top of a tray to collect any of the juices. Now it would be better to actually turn this up the other way so the liquid drips out of the cavity. Now we need this duck to dry for at least 8 hours, and don't pat it down, we want all that sticky liquid to stay on there. Now the more traditional way to do this is actually to use a hook and to hang the bird up. I'm going to be hanging the bird, but this is an option that you could use. So here you can see that I've hung my duck up, and that's going to hang there now and drip dry for at least 8 hours, probably even 24 hours, so the skin gets nice and tight, ready for roasting. Now my duck's been hanging for 24 hours and the surface of the duck is dried out. A lot of the moisture's come out, which will give us a lovely crispy skin. All this oil has come to the surface and we've got that lovely sweet tangy surface from the scalding of the duck. Now it's time to take this duck and cook it. Now it's my preference to wrap the legs and the wing tips with just a little bit of foil for the first stage of the baking. That'll just stop them from going too dark and burning on their extremities here. Now I've taken my oven, I'm preheating it to 180 degrees Celsius, that's 350 Fahrenheit. And in a tray in the bottom of the oven, I'm putting boiling hot water. Now the reason I do that is twofold. One is to keep the duck nice and moist, and secondly is to catch all the dripping from the cooking duck. Now I'm popping our duck into the oven. And that's going to cook for 30 minutes breast side up, and then I'm going to turn it over and do the other side. Now after our duck's been in for 30 minutes, we want to turn the duck over. And then we pop it back into the oven, and we allow that to cook for a further 30 minutes to 45 minutes before we turn it one more time for its final stage. Now our duck's been in the oven a further 45 minutes, and I want to take it out again and turn it over. And at this point I've uncovered the tips of the wings and the feet with the foil, and that's going to go in for a further 30 minutes of roasting. And there you have it, guys. There is my Peking duck out of the oven after the final half hour. It's beautiful golden brown. The skin is lovely and crispy as it should be. Now the skin will be removed separately and served with a sweet garlicky sauce, maybe a little bit of ginger in there. And then the breast and the meat here will be carved, and we're going to serve those. I'm serving them with a lovely Chinese pancake, which is a steamed soft pancake, and I'll be showing you that recipe very shortly. That'll either be after this one or close to this one. So there you have it, guys. There's my sweet and succulent Peking duck. Kung Hei Fat Choy. Happy New Year to everybody across the world. Thanks for watching. I might just show a little clip after this of it served with the pancakes. Be good. I'll see you in the next video. It doesn't get any better than this. I've got a home steamed fresh pancake there, a little scallion. I've got a little bit of cucumber. That's just my own preference. Some hoisin sauce. Hoisin sauce is the sauce traditionally served with Peking duck. And a succulent piece of breast meat. Look at that there. Just lay that alongside the three of those. Wrap it over in a little blanket, like so. Turn up the top. And a little bit of Peking duck heaven. Now I used to keep my own ducks a little while ago, not so long ago, and they were a muscovy, a wild duck, delicious to eat, wonderful for the table. Guys, I'm going to leave my link above for subscribe, and I'll put a couple of videos up there. Be good. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. And the whole piece then just gets laid across the top of the rice like that. And now our sauce, and now I've reduced down that sauce from the bottom of the tray.